Hello everyone, and welcome to my CBS Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Dylan fights Katie, Sheila taunts Deacon, and RJ wins big. Sheila Carter isn't going to pass up a chance to reintegrate into Deacon Sharp's life, according to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful. Sheila notes that Taylor had no trouble marrying Ridge Forrester in the past after finding out Taylor Hayes turned down his marriage proposal. According to BNB teasers, Deacon maintains that he can be happy with Taylor without being married, but Sheila disagrees. Sheila may have new optimism that Deacon will eventually return to her as a result of Taylor's rejection. Melissa Dillon's reasons for having an affair with Will Spencer are being questioned by Katie Logan Spencer as the confrontation at the beach house goes on. Dillon won't allow Katie Logan Spencer to portray her as a gold digger and maintains that her love for Will are sincere. Will supports Dillon, but Katie is still certain that this young woman is more complex than she first appears to be. RJ Forrester's significant risk at Forrester Creations might pay off. Ridge Forrester is prepared to proceed with the RJ Forrester Youthline concept, which may feature Electra Forrester as the company's new face. Turning Electra Forrester become Forrester's next big star could be RJ's key to making his impact on the fashion industry. Will and Dylan, an explosive showdown, and RJ's audacious gamble are all busted by Katie. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, BNB, indicate that Melissa Dillon and Will Spencer's sensual evening will soon be followed by an extremely uncomfortable morning. When Katie Logan Spencer gets at the beach house, she is shocked to see Dillon there. This revelation overwhelms Katie, who already harbors grave misgivings about Dillon's obsession with the Spencer family. Katie thinks Dillon exploited Will Spencer while he was weak after splitting from Electra Forrester. Katie isn't going to silently accept Dillon as the new lady in her son's life, despite Will's insistence that he can make his own decisions. Katie has a lot to say, so Dillon needs to get ready. She will express that she believes Dillon's involvement in the Spencer family is questionable and that she doesn't trust her intentions. That might pave the way for a much larger conflict, particularly if Dillon doesn't let Will's protective mother frighten him. In the meantime, Ridge Forrester receives RJ Forrester's proposal for Forrester Creations directly. Putting Electra at the center of a new fashion line, in RJ's opinion, may attract younger clients and give the faltering business some much-needed enthusiasm. Ridge will have to determine if RJ's risk is worthwhile. It appears like RJ and Electra may eventually receive approval, providing them with yet another excuse to spend a lot of time together. This romantic turmoil might just be getting started, with Will becoming more intimate with Dillon and Electra growing close to RJ. Sheila looks at Deacon once more, Katie goes too far, and Dillon retaliates. There will be spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Melissa Dillon stands up for herself in tomorrow's episode. Sheila Carter, meantime, gets used to her new routine. Discover what will happen next in the soap opera by continuing to read. First, let's talk about the beach house. Katie Logan Spencer just found out that Will Spencer had an affair with Dillon. The woman has shown her complete lack of trust in Dillon. Will accuses his mother of being overly protective, but when she speaks to Dillon, she is blatantly offensive. The mother insists on learning Dillon's motivations. But Dillon will never stop claiming to adore Will. Katie believes she has a right to yell at Dillon, but the young woman will retaliate. Dillon will justify what she did. I saw Katie likening Dillon to Luna Nozawa. Dillon seems strange to me, even though I don't really like Electra Forrester anymore. The problem with people is this. Katie already has a definite opinion about Dillon, regardless of what she says or does. Even if Dillon were to cure cancer, Katie would still believe that she is a bad person. Therefore, even while I believe Dillon has a problem, I also believe Katie is acting absurdly. There are times when you simply cannot win. In those situations, simply give up. Although I am aware that Dillon will be devastated, it is preferable to putting up with Katie's tirades for the next 10 years. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful indicate that Sheila visited Deacon. When the woman learned that Taylor Hayes had turned down his proposal of marriage, she was taken aback. I sensed that Sheila and Deacon might get back together in the future while they were merely chatting. He's attempting to establish himself at FC with RJ Forrester. RJ aspires to construct or produce something that will be respected. In this manner, he is more than merely the owner's grandchild. Even though I'm not a fan of RJ, I do like that. However, I could see RJ going a little too far. Is he certain that Elektra can manage anything that comes her way? The other problem is that FC is having problems, as demonstrated in Monaco. Will a new line prevent FC from collapsing or save it? Paternity bombshell, horrific crash and explosive family war. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for the upcoming 3 weeks include questions about paternity, confrontations between parents, and issues related to shifting lives. Parents' disagreements over their children's relationships, paternity disputes, and other significant, life-altering concerns are causing tensions to rise. What we know about the upcoming 3 weeks is as follows. Ridge Forrester interrupted a heated confrontation between Steffi Forrester-Finnegan and Carter Walton. Naturally, these two think they have kept their secret from Ridge, but there's no assurance that he didn't hear enough to learn the truth. Steffi is adamant about telling John Finnegan about their one-night encounter. Carter, though, thinks that this will destroy their marriages. Despite Carter's objections, will Steffi insist on telling Finn the truth? Melissa Dillon will encounter significant resistance over Katie Logan Spencer in the meantime. Katie is adamantly opposed to Will Spencer continuing his relationship with Dillon. Dillon is nothing more than a gold digger, in Katie's opinion, and she won't let her cling to her son. Will Katie be able to stop Dillon and her schemes before she becomes inextricably linked to Will via a child? Is Luna Nozawa really better than this girl? To assist her in handling the Katie situation, Dillon will summon her mother, Darcy Dillon, to town. Naturally, Darcy will arrive ready to protect her daughter at any costs. Katie has no intention of like Darcy any more than she likes Dillon. With his new line idea, RJ Forrester, Brian Nicoletti, hopes to make a living. Are the Forresters going to support this? As they work to pitch this new line idea, Elektra Forrester will become closer to RJ. RJ thinks he can transform Elektra into the next hope. Bill Spencer might be determined to find out exactly what is happening with Elektra and RJ after realizing the Forresters are up to something. Will Bill be able to thwart this most recent action? It appears like Will and potentially Dillon will be involved in a motorbike accident at the end of the show. Naturally, Darcy will defend her daughter and probably place all the responsibility on Will. Is Dillon arranging a different means of extracting money from the Spencers? If Dillon is unable to pursue the Spencers, will Darcy? Will Elektra be awakened by a motorcycle accident and compelled to defend Will? Will Elektra eventually begin making her own decisions rather than letting the Forresters do it for her? Now that she has cheated on Carter, will Steffi soon have to take a pregnancy test and deal with another who's the daddy plot? Will Finn discover the truth at last? Carter's world collapses. Is this his startling exit strategy? According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, this might be the start of his demise. It is obvious that we are discussing Carter Walton since many people are wondering if his most recent scandal has anything to do with his Leaf storyline. For all the information you require, continue reading below. There are rumors that after Daphne learns that Carter had an affair with Steffi Forrester, their marriage would dissolve. In addition, he will no longer be buddies with Ridge Forrester, and before you know it, he may also lose his job with Forrester. Many people simply don't understand why Carter is on the show when everything in his life is about to explode apart in front of him. The internet undoubtedly had a lot to say about the issue. Some even posted comments on social media that said, Carter should start his own company. Bring Daphne and Zend, and make some fresh hires so we can see more faces and locations. Bikini isn't up to par, and it's long overdue. Or RJ's location. At last, Carter discovered the argument that Steffi was unable to reject. The episode on Monday intensified an already tense situation and escalated the stakes. Carter and Steffi were having a heartfelt talk when Ridge entered the back room. Ridge insisted on finding out what was happening. In order to hide their tracks, Carter had to act fast. Although he was able to sidestep Ridge's queries and worries, Steffi was frightened by this near miss. She immediately felt bad for not telling their loved ones about this. She learned from this near miss that their secret is a ticking time bomb that could go off at any time. Steffi is an obstinate woman who won't budge. She genuinely thought that the only way she could move forward was to tell Finn the truth. Carter modified his approach and gave up debating the morality of secrecy. Rather, Carter made Steffi concentrate on those who were unrelated to their error. He made it apparent that her admission would ruin the lives of those who had nothing to do with this play, such as his wife Daphne. At the conclusion of Monday's episode, Steffi ultimately gave in and accepted a covert deal with Carter as a result of Carter's deft framing. She was still adamant that it was terrible to keep Finn in the dark. That remained unchanged. But she couldn't bear the thought of killing innocent people in the process. Carter depicted what would occur in striking detail. Steffi made the decision to bear the weight of a falsehood in order to spare others from suffering as a result. Steffi pledged to preserve their secret. However, if and when she experiences another pregnancy scare, everything might change. Carter and Daphne's inability to conceive and their desire to establish a family were the main causes of their breakup. However, Daphne has returned. And it would be devastating for Daphne if Steffi became pregnant by Carter due to a single inebriated error. For two spouses, it would transform a scandalous secret into a crisis that would change their lives. Has Dylan been dumpster diving again? Her bizarre outfit was roasted. Something simply doesn't make sense for many of the fans of The Bold and the Beautiful here, and naturally, we're talking about Dylan. For all the information you require, continue reading below. Many viewers can't help but speculate that the character might be dumpster diving once more, but not for a cold slice of pizza this time. Rather, it appears that some of the items she has been wearing on the show were taken directly from the trash. Dylan wore an outfit that had 2 belts over her chest during the most recent episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. In fact, it's a chain-adorned denim bra that has left many followers perplexed and questioning why anyone would wear it at all. Yes, it appears that strange, and it also seems out of place for a show that centers around a fashion house. Naturally, a lot of viewers of The Bold and the Beautiful had a lot to say about the issue on social media. Even comments like "I figured she's a designer now" have been made. She discovered these things while dumpster diving. She is in charge of the next kids line. This show is literally about a family of fashion designers and they have the characters wear this, commented a different soap opera critic. Either the wardrobe staff should be sacked or they are making fun of us. There have been a lot of terrible costumes lately, this being just one. Additionally, there was this comment: Dylan would still look better than the ultimate narcissist, Elektra, even if the stylists dressed her in Steffi's awful trench coat and shower curtain ensemble. On the other hand, viewers will only need to watch every day to figure out what will happen next. Why Ridge is the worst person to discover Carter and Steffi's secret. When it comes to Sheila, Ridge enjoys using Finn as his personal punching bag. He has blamed the good doctor for not shielding Steffi from his mother's perilous orbit. Ridge blames Finn right away for all of Steffi's marital problems. Ridge's moral outrage will vanish if he finds out. He'll get a harsh reality check. Given that Steffi deliberately ruined her own marriage to one of his closest friends, Ridge will have to make sense of his criticism of Finn. Ridge is no longer able to act as his daughter's defender. Acknowledging Steffi's treachery entails acknowledging that Steffi herself was the source of the marital fissures in addition to Finn. Carter is more than just Forrester Creations' COO in Ridge's eyes. He sees him as the company's moral compass, brother, and legal guru. Carter is once more transformed from an ally into a personal traitor upon learning of this incident. Ridge will be put in an unfeasible predicament. Will he banish the COO who, despite controversy, keeps his family business afloat? Or would he condone the man who disregarded his daughter's marriage vows in order to defend his father's company? Ridge might quickly lose both his sense of business security and his closest confidant if he found out.